All right, so as you could see in the rear, the reflectors melted. The side of the bumper is melted, and all of it is as a result of that exhaust tip falling off. Now, what caused it to fall off? It looks like it's pretty badly rusted. Why did it just rust there and not affect any of the other areas? I'm sure I don't know. But nevertheless, it rusted, fell off. The exhaust was pointed directly at the rear bumper or the inside of the rear bumper, and that's what did all the damage. So it damaged the proximity sensors, it damaged the reflector on the passenger side rear, and there's portions of the bumper that looks distorted. Now, reached out to the insurance company, talked to them about it, and they were talking about are they liable and this and that. And if I'm 100% honest with you, I just was like, forget it, I'll take care of it. The bumper is rather expensive, and honestly, I don't think I need another rear bumper. So then I would purchase a rear bumper, have to get it painted. I was like, let me see if I can salvage what we have because it doesn't look that bad from the cosmetically. It doesn't look that bad. I don't know how much damage is done underneath to where just replacing the reflector. I don't know if I can just replace the reflector, but we'll find out. The main reason what I'm recording the video for is putting the exhaust on. So what I'm going to do right now is cut the factory stuff out because I don't feel like unbolting anything. And then the MBRP exhaust comes in so many different pieces that I'll be able to manipulate it and get it into where I need it to be without having to remove anything. So that's the route I choose to go. I mean, it's not like the factory's exhaust is in one piece anyway, right? So that's what you're going to watch me do. I'll be underneath the truck, so I will bring the camera underneath the truck to catch a couple of different angles, but most of what you're going to see me do is from the outside. All right, let's go. I'm going to unbolt this, which is pretty rusty, so I might have to cut it. But this is where the MBRP is going to go on to, so I'll be retaining the catalytic converter. I have one exhaust hanger here. I have another exhaust hanger after the muffler, and behind the rear wheel there would be normally be a second muffler, but I've already cut that muffler off. So this is a 13mm socket, and I'm going to make a prediction. My prediction is this rusty bolt is going to break before I get to take it off. Let's see. Dang, I must be a psychic. All right, let's see if we can't use a pry bar and take it the rest of the way. So it was difficult to record while I was doing it, so I'll walk you through what I did. I just put the Sawzall in there, cut a little notch to where I could fit the pry bar in there, and then I just started prying on it with the pry bar, and voila, it came off. So I'm using my left forearm to brace the muffler. So I was talking to my homeboy that owns the Civic Type R swapped hatchback, the purple one that's on the channel. And he was saying when I did the exhaust on the GS350, hearing me drag the exhaust on the ground was driving him nuts. So I got this cardboard right here to prevent the new one from getting scratched up, because he was under the impression that the new one was getting scratched up. But this, what I'm about to do right now, is just for him. Y'all just sit back for a second. All right, Sean, that's for you, bro. So I used this same company for the exhaust on the F350, and it was relatively easy to install. It was good craftsmanship, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That, and it was half the price of some of the other ones that were on the market. Now, I don't always go for the cheapest thing on the market, but I don't have anything to prove either. All right, so I'm looking at the instructions, and usually I throw these things in the trash, but considering that there are so many pieces, I wanted to make sure I got the layout correct. So the good thing about this is it is the same exhaust system, same part number for the Suburban and the Tahoe, the Yukon XL and the Yukon, the Escalade ESV, and the regular, the short body style Escalade. So stands to reason that you can extend the exhaust in certain places, collapse the exhaust in certain places. And it also provides you with two different size couplers, depending on if you have a 5.3 liter engine in the Tahoe and Suburban, or you have a 6.2 in the Denali and in the Escalade. So that's that. Let's go. All right, so this is the clamp that held the pipe onto the catalytic converter, right? The instructions call for you to reuse this, but that, as you can see, it's a little bit botched. I mean, it can work, and it will work because I'm putting it back on, but the bolt that you saw previously is dead. So I'm off to O'Reilly's to see if I can grab a bolt that will work here. None of the existing bolts I have here will work unless I modify this. Now, because I have a little bit of material missing here, I don't want to take any more material out of it if I don't have to. I will if I need to. I was not able to find a bolt that would fit in here without having to take material out, but I only took out a little bit of material, so it should still have the integrity. Luckily, O'Reilly stocks the, or should I say they carry the clamp and bolt that I need for the exhaust. Bad thing is I had to order it, so I'm going to put it together like this so the truck doesn't sound like. And I may or may not remove this and put the new one on. I don't know, but I'd like to have the part here just in case. So, all right, let me give you a quick sneak peek of what I'm doing. So, I have the coupler attached there next to the catalytic converter. Then I have the first pipe installed with the hanger bracket. Now, I went ahead and installed the rear pipe with the hanger or hangers rather. And now I'm going to install the muffler. The reason I did it that way is because the pipe is hanging down right now, as you can see. If I was to put the muffler itself on, it'd be down here and it would be hanging. I feel like it would make it more difficult for me to install it into that rear pipe. So I'm going to try it this way. We'll see how it works. All right, so install the pipe with that clamp loose, this clamp tight. This clamp tight, this is the one that has the exhaust hanger bracket on. This one is loose, obviously. That's what secures this pipe to the muffler. This one is loose. That's the one that secures the rear pipe that goes over the axle to the muffler. Now, as I was saying, I installed this pipe first with the hangers. Then I put the muffler itself on my chest, take the hangers off, slide this pipe in, put the hangers back, and then I'm going to go work on the back before I tighten everything up. Make sense? Let's go. All right, now that the exhaust has been installed, I'm in the process of trying to remove the reflector, but it is nice and melted. Everything, most of the things back here is melted. So you can see the, gotta get it to focus. You can see where the proximity sensor goes, or parking sensor goes, and there's no tab for it right now. It's on the I removed the screw here, the screw here. I removed the screw here, the screw here, and an apparatus that was bolted and plugged in right here. I'm not sure what the apparatus goes to. No, the electronic, I'm pretty sure that's the electronic parking brake. Yep. And it's attached to this guy here. Yeah, electronic parking brake. And you can see what I'm saying about rust. This is surface rust, but I guess that's what caused the muffler to fall off, is the rust. Yeah. So let's get back at it. All right, so this is what this is what came out of the truck, nice and melted. And I bought the replacement. This is what we have now. You can see a lot of melted plastic, so I'm going to cut this out. Obviously, it's not going to be mounted the way it's supposed to be mounted from the factory, but I still have 2 mounting points that I can reuse. So let's see if it's enough. It's difficult to record while I'm doing this because all you're going to see is my body. You're not going to see what I'm doing because of how tight this area is. So as you can see, there's a lot of carnage in here. And I'm having to take pieces of melted plastic off just to clearance a spot for the reflector to go. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is try to come up with a way to secure that in the spot, because as you can see, the mounting tabs are melted. I don't know what I'm gonna do just yet, but now I'm working on something. About to MacGyver this shit, man. Yep, I'll get back with you in a second. All right, so have you ever been scrolling and see, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook, and see any reels or even memes that show somebody working on something that's like supposed to take 10 minutes, supposed to take 30 minutes, and then they'll be like 3 hours later? I have a very, very similar situation. So check this out. In the process of cutting this guy out, I accidentally cut a wire. Now, I didn't know it was a wire because it was a part of all of this melted plastic garbage. But now I have to splice these wires back together. Don't know what they do, but I know they're not supposed to be like this. So let's go. All right, I figured the easiest way to do this, to where I wouldn't have to take it out and do it again, is to make it so that I could actually have access to it instead of trying to do it in that cubby. So all I'm gonna do is just slice it up together like this here. I'm not gonna use these anymore now that I have more space to work with. I'm gonna strip it down and slice them together, use heat shrink to hold it, then tape everything up. All right, let's go. All right, so it's spliced, heat shrinked, and wrapped in electrical tape. Now, I could cut off all of this melted loom and put fresh loom on there, but I'm afraid to cut the wire because this stuff is hard. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting fresh loom over, like cleaning it up a little bit and putting fresh loom over it, because like I said, I don't want to accidentally cut another wire like I did here. Additionally, I suspect that whatever this used to do, it's not doing it anymore. It was exposed to a lot of heat for a long period of time. So I'm going to try to figure out what this part does. I think I'm having some side impact errors popping up on my dash. So I'm thinking that this is what's causing it, because I didn't have any lights on the dash or any error codes on the dash. And then I just started noticing it. Not putting two and two together, but like I said, I'm going to look and see if I can find what this is. I'm going to figure out a way. Probably I'm going to zip tie this up underneath there, put everything back together, and give you that sound clip. And that's going to wrap up our Escalade video. And that's going to wrap up today's project. All right, let's go. I opted to zip tie this to the frame so it doesn't bang around. Everything else is plugged back up. Electronic parking brake actuators plugged back up. The reflector is in there as best as it can be. It's secured with a fastener here and a fastener back here. The provisions for the fastener here is melted away, but I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you think. Let's see if the parking sensor worked. Well, it was maxed out before. It's not maxed out right now. Let's see what the truck sounds like. I don't hear that whistling sound. If I'm honest with you, it's a little bit louder than I would have wanted my Escalade to be, right? But it's better than it sounded before. So go for a drive. Yeah, it's a little bit louder than I would have wanted it to be. Maybe if I had a Silverado, maybe if I had a Suburban and a Tahoe that was lifted, this would be ideal. But it's too loud for me. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a resonator, or maybe even a race muffler in addition to what's there. I've done that in the past with V8 trucks. The reason I would add a race muffler is because it does do a little bit of muffling, but it's not restrictive. You know what I'm saying? So that, in addition to this, might give me the sound I'm looking for. But all in all, it's not bad. I don't hate it. I hated that whistling that was happening before. Like, I hated to hear the truck outside. I hated to hear the truck from inside. I hated everything about it. This is not that for me right now. It's just, this is my wife's daily. So nah, I don't want to draw too much attention. And this is the vehicle we use when we go on a road trip. So I like flying under the radar, you know what I mean? I mean, all in all though, it does sound pretty good. I'm not disappointed with the way it sounds, the tone. I just wish it wasn't as loud, you know what I mean? All right, that's good. It doesn't sound bad outside. It's not as, I don't know. Curious to hear what she thinks. Ah, man, I like it. What are your thoughts? How does it sound? You like it? You don't think it's too loud? Okay. All right. I'm not ashamed to tell you. That seatbelt flapping around scared the shit out of me. All right, let's see what it sounds like with the windows up. It sounds good with the windows up. I like it. I'm not in a rush to alter it. You know what I mean? I won't do the resonator right now. But I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe this will grow on me. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think based off what you can hear. I know hearing it on YouTube is not hearing it on YouTube is not the same as hearing it in person. I know that, but from what you can hear, tell me what you think. And okay, I like it. I like it. All right. Two things. One, I would like dual exit. So I'll probably be changing that tip to a dual exit tip because I like how that looks more than I like the single exit. And probably a resonator or a race muffler down the road. The dual tips, that has to happen. I might recess the rear bumper and push the tips up into the bumper so it's coming out of the bumper as opposed to below the bumper, if you understand what I'm saying. But hey, as always, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. And I'll see you in the next one. Later.